Hello there. So, I want to talk about something that I'm experiencing, and I'm sure a lot of you are too. It has to do with transitioning from third dimensional ego into a fourth dimensional consciousness and also fifth dimensional consciousness. This is the hardest part, it seems, that I am having to deal with at the moment. Losing the ego can be a very daunting task, and it can be also quite maddening if you let it get out of hand. So, the biggest symptoms I have been feeling from this process would have to be the feeling of lethargy, or feeling lethargic, feeling very neutral all the time, feeling very dissociative. It seems that I can't ever pick a side. I'm mostly just observing. There are times when I will indulge in past behaviors of egoism, and get wrapped up in you know, a, uh, a fight online or an idealism, but then I'm quickly pulled back from it because I know deep down in my heart that it doesn't mean anything. It's just, it's a polarized end on the spectrum of duality. It's, left or right, black or white, gay, straight. It's all the same to me. And none of that stuff matters anymore. It has no substance to it anymore for me. So I've been finding myself in a state of neutrality a lot more, and this has often left me feeling lonely, or like I said, lethargic, without real purpose, without desire, without direction. Okay, and when I start to feel this way, that's when I will, take my moment of living in the now, that neutrality, and use the power of my consciousness or my heart field to magnify a desired emotion, whether it be love or gratitude is my favorite lately. Often I'll find myself feeling gratuitous, is that a word? I don't know. Feeling gratitude for things I never would have imagined before. For example, earlier I was strolling through my feed on Instagram, and I was feeling very neutral, as usual. And then all of a sudden, as I scrolled and scrolled, it hit me. Look at all these people, these different people and their shenanigans, and these different faces, these different places, these different body types, these different personalities, these different egos. And it just made me feel a sense of gratitude for some reason. To be part of this experiment, on this planet, all the diversity, and it was a beautiful thing. All the shenanigans that the males were partaking in, and just all the beautiful women, and just really interesting people. So I held that emotion and I magnified it with my heart field, and it took me out of a state of neutrality into a state of gratitude and love. And I was just bursting, a warm feeling, emotion inside. So that's an example of how I pierce that neutrality. If anything, I'm not going to lie, I still have moments of, I won't say depression, because how can I be depressed when I know what depression is? When I know that the cure for depression is to go into a state of flow, like coming to the park just keep my energies moving. How can I be depressed if I'm moving? If I know that all depression is being stuck in the past, you know. So to remedy that would be to move, to get going, to get my energies flowing. So, and then I rarely ever get in a state of anxiety anymore because I don't think about the future too much, you know. I only ever really think about the now because that's all there is. And you know, why think about the future when it hasn't happened yet, you know? So, and also, life isn't just random chaos to me anymore, really. And now life is much more divine. Everything seems to happen for an exact reason. And every single moment seems to have a lesson behind it. And so the real objective for me these days is to find that lesson. And if I can learn it and move on. And if I can't, then I will keep reliving that experience until I do learn it so that I can move on. So lately, anyway, I just wanted to talk about these feelings of delusion or disillusion, I guess would be the better word, or disassociativeness, or you know, I find less and less in common with old friends and people. You know, if I get bored very easily in old ways of being, you know, and so I guess the only remedy would be to move on, to keep flowing in a different direction. That way you don't stagnate and find yourself in a depressed state of of emotions, and don't get too far ahead of yourself because you'll wind up getting anxiety too. I don't know. I'm just ranting. I hope you guys are having a wonderful night.